All right. Hopefully, we are live. This is super complicated for me because I've got Facebook, my private Facebook group here, and I got YouTube here. So, welcome. We're going to talk about something that's super powerful when it comes to just getting back into activity, getting back into exercise, whether you are post fusion, whether you are disc herniation, disc bulge, any kind of history of sensitivity in the low back, or a history of spinal surgery, and you've been told to exercise, you've been told to move, you've been told to be more active, but you're doing all these things and nothing seems to be working. Either your pain has been increasing due to the activity or the exercise or the therapy that you're doing, or nothing's happening, right? It's just kind of consistent. Like your pain is still there, nothing seems to be changing, you're doing all the things, and it's just super frustrating. So we're going to talk about that. And I call it the yo-yo mistake. I coined it, the yo-yo mistake. And what I'm going to show you is I spent all night creating this graph. And it's going to make so much sense once you see the graph. But I'm going to show you where a lot of people go wrong when it comes to when they're in pain and trying to be active, and then when they're having a good day and they're trying to be active, and where the big disconnect is and why you're probably experiencing some kind of issue. Okay. So if you're here for that, let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. Would love to just, again, always love hearing kind of where you guys are from. And we'll let a few more people pop in here. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know that you're watching replay. Just hit replay or comment replay in the comment section. And we're going to get started here in a second. It's a beautiful day here in Florida, nice and sunny. We're kind of getting to fall. You're watching from home, Samson. And questions are always welcome. So Jamaica. Oh, Jamaican here in China. Okay. All right. I'm not even sure what time it is over there. India. Awesome. Isn't that really cool? Like, I'm from the US, Florida, you're in India, you're in China, and you're watching it from wherever, getting help. Like this is the kind of stuff that like changes lives. And I'm not saying that your local medical people are terrible people, that they're not going to help you, but like, how awesome is it now that you can find someone who really specializes in what you deal with somewhere around the world, and you can get tons of free content just like this. It's just awesome. So if you're over here on Facebook in the group, what's up? Any questions you have, hopefully I'll be able to see them. I don't know if I will be able to see them as far as the chats go. So I think if they pop up, I'll see them pop up. I don't know. We'll kind of go from here. From the Philippines, midnight. Whew. What is up? The wifey logged in. Daniel from Greece. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the yo-yo mistake. Oftentimes, what you're told to do by me or by someone that you trust, wherever you're at, is to be more active, is to move. Well, when you have back pain, you have a sensitivity, and you try to be active, whether it be to start your hobby up again or you start to exercise again, and something's not connecting. And it's kind of goes back to this thing called the yo-yo mistake. And I'm going to show you this big graph that I worked really hard on all night last night. Hopefully you can see that. Honestly, it's probably backwards. Oh, well. Okay. So what I want you to look at is this line here. Okay. Hopefully you can see that over there on Facebook. Boom, the line here. This gully or valley would be a no pain zone. This is a good day. All right. These peaks are pain days, high flare up days, high sensitive days. You just woke up and your back is just smoked. Okay. So high pain, low pain. This is what I call the yo-yo. This is the yo-yo of life when it comes to chronic pain, low back pain, life post-surgery, trying to recover even years after surgery. And you have this good days and bad days. That is normal, okay? So experiencing good days and bad days is completely normal. What you have to understand is is you have to be able to bob and weave and adjust what you're doing based on what type of day you're having. What happens is most people, they go into this yo-yo, or they're already in the yo-yo. They're on this pain cycle, this repeat pain cycle. Every day they're trying to be active, trying to do their hobbies, but they're in pain. And what they tend to do is based off of where you are on this graph, this very high-tech graph, based on where you are, you're going to be active. And I'm sorry if the audio is weird. Like I got wires everywhere on my face, I feel like, and they're all trying to get you decent audio. So based on where you're at, if you're having a no pain day, guess what you're going to do? You're going to be more active. You're going to go in the house. You're like, yo, I'm going to pull all the weeds around my house. I'm going to vacuum upstairs and downstairs in my house. I'm going to try to get all the stuff done on the days that I feel really, really good. Okay. If that is you, if you've ever experienced that, where you're like, today's the day, I feel great. Oh my gosh, it's like amazing. So we got to do all the things, wash the car. We got to wash the dog. We have to, clean the gutters out. If that's you, if you've ever had a day like that, that's usually how you make decisions. On your good days, you tend to do more. If that is you, say yes in the comment section here on YouTube Live. And if you're watching on the replay on Facebook or watching now, put it in there. Like, yes, like that is me. On the other days, high pain days, like this right here, you tend to what? Do nothing. You tend to like recover. That's like your recovery time, where you stop all activity and you just do nothing. Okay. That's a very common thing. So if you're doing that, a million other back pain sufferers post-surgery suffer. I don't think you're suffering post-surgery. It's you guys are warriors. You're chronic back pain warriors, post-surgery warriors, which means you are at battle with good information and bad information, trying to find relief. That's what I look at you guys as. So you're not sufferers. We're not suffering from this. I guess you can argue that. But so what you tend to do is on the good days, you do more. On the bad days, the pain days, you do less. Very common, very big mistake that we kind of make. This is where the yo-yo mistake comes in, where I want you, and I'm going to kind of cover 3 points that you're going to take home with this element here, this yo-yo effect or this yo-yo mistake, and what you're going to do. There's a certain place on this graph where you have to insert all of your activity and be very, very consistent. So the question is, where do you think it belongs? Do you think you need to wait on these days just to work out? Do you think you need to wait on these days up here to start doing your relief strategies, exercise? If you're in the current 12-week strength and back pain relief accelerator program, this is something that we're focusing on very heavily, and this is going to change the game for a lot of people because we're going to talk about specifically how to apply that to their situation. But where are you at? What do you do? What you should be doing is being smack dab in the middle of this line without a single change. Your activity needs to sit right here. That means your relief strategies. If you're following something specific, and when I say following something specific, as far as like if you're in one of my courses, that is following something specific. If you are just kind of like browsing YouTube, following whoever's yoga for back pain YouTube video, if that's not specific, that's just kind of like, that's a shot in the dark, unfortunately. That is why I was in pain for so long. So if you're something specific, those strategies that you're following need to be done right here. And there's specific things that you should be doing. It's not just exercise. It's not just riding your bike, but there's relief, passive and active relief strategies. And then there's just like trying to maintain sanity, like doing the things that you love, your activities, hiking, walking, biking, whatever it may be. That's where you should be doing it. Now, these are the 3 points that you're going to take home. There's a high pain day. There's a low pain day. Where you should be with where your activity is, smack dab in the middle. We already know that the majority of people, what they do is they wait for the good days to do their activity. There's an issue with why that doesn't work. And it's because you have no idea what is working and what is not working. If you only wait for when you are in a good day, then what if the next day is just automatically going to be a bad day because of whatever else you did? Maybe you drove to work longer. You were in traffic. So you did your stuff, your relief stuff on the good day, but then you had to sit in traffic. So now the next day is a bad day. So you're like, well, what I did on the good day, like, does that stuff even work? Like, did that back stretch like help? Or is that what caused me pain? Right? That's what happens with people who are on this vicious pain cycle, who try everything, but nothing seems to be working. Okay, so we're going to try to break that. Number one, when it comes to where you should be at on this, in order to be at the same spot every single day, is to be consistent. I want you to write consistent in the comment section, okay? Consistent. What does consistent look like? If you are given something specific, right? It's specific core training stuff, it's specific passive relief stuff or active relief stuff. Consistently following whatever program, whatever thing that you're doing every single day, day in, day out, whether you are in a high level of pain and a low level of pain. Now, there will always be a situation where you are just really, really smoked, and the best thing to do would be to kind of default to more of like a passive relief, like Tylenol or like a hot shower, hot bath. All those are kind of like short-term passive strategies. But 90% of the time, which is where the majority of you are at, I'm willing to bet, is the consistency on whether you are heading towards a good day or heading towards a good day or heading towards a bad day. Regardless of where you're at, you have got to maintain a consistency across the board. Now, why do we do this? We have to be consistent because we have to know what is working and what is not working. If let's say you start doing some core training, right? And you're not just like doing core training, but you're following a specific type of core training for persistent low back pain or post-surgery. You're following a core training routine. If you only do the core training routine on the good days and not on the bad days or not in the in-between days, then you'll never know, like we already said, if it's working or not. But you'll never know whether you should dial it up, dial it back, or if you're progressing at all. Okay? The problem with following your pain cycle is because it's always going to be different. Like the way you wake up every day, a lot of different reasons will cause that discomfort, will cause that pain. So in order for you to understand for a fact that what you're doing for relief is actually working, is to be consistent with it, okay? So being consistent. The second reason, or the second thing you have to kind of really make sure you're doing, I'm gonna grab some water break, grab some water. The second thing you have to do when you're trying to follow and stay away from following the actual trail, that yo-yo effect, is to don't change a lot at once. And this kind of goes off of the first point. But what happens is you start applying exercise, you start applying your fast-paced walking, you start applying your passive or active thing. And if you're doing a lot at one time and you're not being consistent, then what ends up happening is you don't know what to change. You don't know what to pull up, pull down, or change, or dial up or dial back to really get relief, okay? So again, if you're following based off of consistency, there's a better chance for the day-to-day to hopefully what you're looking for is for your pain days, because you're going to have them, your pain days to start reducing. Whereas when you're in a pain day, it's not as severe, right? The flare up or the sensitivity isn't as extreme, or it doesn't last as long. There's flare ups come in all shapes, sizes, and flavors. Okay. They could be weeks long. They could be 3 days long. And what's really cool about when you know what you're doing is working is it's not that you just wake up and you never have a flare up again. What happens is things start to become centralized. Things become more controlled to where your sensitivity lasts half the length of time, right? If 7 days, that's just like your thing. 7 days, you're in pain. You just got to buckle up and deal with it. Well, then that turns into 5 days, and you literally wake up on the 5th day expecting to be in pain, but your pain's gone or it's massively reduced. Like those are the types of results that you should be seeing with whatever strategy that you're following right now. That's what you should be seeing. Okay. So if you're not seeing that, you've got to rethink what you're doing. And hopefully maybe this video here is going to help you with that yo-yo mistake that you might be making. So last point, is a super important one. And in order to understand where you should be at with that consistency, the high levels of pain, low levels of pain, we know that all the things that you're following is smack dab in the middle. And where your middle is, and this is kind of where like the secret to this is, where your middle is will depend on what your pain threshold is. Okay. So you have a pain threshold, which is like your max, how you feel in your body, how you feel on a day-to-day basis, but also like, let's say you go for a walk and 5 minutes into your walk, your back starts acting up above a 4 out of 10 pain. If 10 was the worst, after 5-10 minutes, your back's at like an 8. All right. That is how you get to know your personal pain threshold. If you don't know what your personal pain threshold is, that is the number one thing that you've got to start working on to making sure that you get to a place where you can actually start seeing results. So understanding your personal pain threshold, where your line is, should be at that threshold. So you go for a run, you go for a walk, you start doing exercises, you're doing passive or active relief strategies, whatever you might be doing, everything should be taking you up to that line, that 4 out of 10. I usually would say a 4 out of 10 pain, as in 10's the worst, 0's no pain at all. Let yourself get to that 4 out of 10 pain. Don't push past that. Where that consistent line is every single day, whether it's an amazing day or a terrible day, you've got to try to keep yourself consistently below your pain threshold. And in order for you to do that, you have to be in tune with how your body's responding. And you can't just do an exercise to do it because you saw it on YouTube, but you really have to be confident and know that what you're doing is the best thing for you in your specific situation. Okay. So really quick, that's it. That is the yo-yo mistake. You can, if you're just tuning in, you can watch the replay. I'm gonna see if I have any questions here real quick. I don't want to make this too long. Any questions on the yo-yo, on this thing here, how it works, how to stay off of it, let me know. I have mid-back stiffness and nothing seems to help. It really kind of depends on what you're doing now. Unfortunately, I can't give a whole lot of like very specific strategies type of stuff, because you really have to kind of dive in with the individual to kind of see where they're at, what's working, what's not working for them. So I would kind of need some more information. Unable to sit in a good posture. What should I do? Yash, if depending on what a good posture looks like, there's really no need to necessarily sit in a good posture. Sitting needs to be comfortable, right? We think, I did a live like 2 weeks ago. I'm like sweating. It's getting hot. I did a live 2 weeks ago, I think, and it's about sitting is not the new smoking. So you have to sit comfortably. If you're trying to sit in a perfect erect posture, you're going to get wrecked. You're not going to feel good. Your back is going to start aching. Things are going to start getting stiff because you're not designed to like be erect with no support and no break all day. So it's less about sitting in the perfect erect posture or the best posture that's like ergonomic. And that's what I'm kind of referring to. It's less about that and more about what does your body need to keep it from jacking up, from getting to a high sensitive point. That might be breaking as far as how often you're sitting. It could be standing up and kind of moving around. Could be a few different things. But don't think that you have to be in this perfect posture the entire time. Any more questions? Cool. Awesome. Well, that's it, guys. That is the yo-yo mistake. Hopefully you're not making it. Always remember to be consistent with what you're doing. If you have no idea what you should be doing, if you're in the Facebook group, you see content posted weekly. If you're on YouTube, you see content posted weekly. These are very much small glimpses or windows into a big organized strategy. Unfortunately, that's just, I really can't, you can't make one video that takes you through everything because it would be massively boring. Not everything would apply to you. So everything has to be done in chunks. And that's what kind of the content that I put out is chunks of information that you should be focusing on. So there is more to the story. There is more to this right here. You have to navigate it well. So there's always more resources that I have that I can help you with. If you're kind of stuck in a place where you're just tired of just watching videos and you want to kind of take action, reach out to me, send me a message. There's options that you have available to you that can really help you based off of what I do with all of the clients I'm working with now. So thanks for watching, guys. Any more questions really quick? None? I will see you on the next live.